Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are tackling one of the biggest questions there is. What happens after we die? We're diving into a source that argues death isn't the end, but actually a transformation. And it uses some of the most compelling, most mysterious human stories you've ever heard to build its case.
So let's just jump right in with a story the source presents as truly baffling, a case that really challenges our basic understanding of memory and even our own identity.
Our story starts in Delhi, India, back in the 1930s. It's about a young girl named Shanti Devi, whose memories were so impossible they ended up capturing the attention of the entire country. As the source explains it, this wasn't just some childhood fantasy. Shanti Devi was born in 1926, but by the time she was 7, she was insisting that her real home was in a town called Mathura, about 150 kilometers away. For years, her parents just brushed it off. But then, when she was 9, everything changed. A visitor showed up who seemed to actually confirm her story, and that led to a formal commission being created just to investigate her incredible claims. And the things she was claiming, they were just astonishingly specific. I mean, she wasn't just vaguely talking about another life. She named her supposed husband. She described the exact layout of their house. She talked about her 3 children and even recounted very specific, personal moments. These were details a little girl from Delhi just should not have known. And this is where the story gets really incredible. The commission took her to Mathura, a town she'd supposedly never been to in her life. Now, according to the official report, she confidently led them through the streets, pointed out her former family members in a crowd, and made these precise claims like the one you see here. She took them right to the house, and the investigators were just completely stunned. Now, as extraordinary as Shanti Devi's case is, the source argues it's not unique. Not even close. Instead, it's presented as just one piece of a much, much larger pattern that you see all over the world. And to back this idea up, the source points to all these other similar accounts. For instance, in Sri Lanka, there was a boy who apparently remembered being a soldier in a past life and even identified his old home. In India, a dying man suddenly described a crime happening in a distant city with perfect accuracy. And then there's the famous example from Tibet, where young children who are identified as reincarnated lamas are known to be able to pick out their predecessors' personal stuff, like a specific teacup or prayer beads, from a whole pile of random objects. So from here, the source pivots a little bit. It moves from these memories of past lives to another, very closely related phenomenon: the detailed reports from people who were clinically dead and then came back. This account really gets to the heart of what researchers call a near-death experience, or NDE. And you know, thousands and thousands of people have described these same kinds of sensations. This feeling of floating outside their body, an overwhelming sense of peace, and this feeling of moving towards some kind of destination. What's just so striking is how consistent these stories are. Researchers who study NDEs have found this common narrative that just cuts across all cultures and beliefs. It often starts with that out-of-body experience, then moving through a tunnel toward this brilliant light, and it's usually accompanied by this feeling of deep, deep peace, and for a lot of people, their entire life just flashing before their eyes. Okay, so you have these past life memories on one hand, and these near-death experiences on the other. How in the world do they connect? Well, according to the source, it all comes down to one central theory about what existence even is. The core idea here is that death isn't the end of the line. It's a metamorphosis, a change. In this view, consciousness is the thing that's fundamentally real, and our physical bodies are, well, just temporary vehicles that we're borrowing for a while. The source uses this really powerful analogy to explain it. Think about water. It can be a liquid, right? But if you heat it up, it becomes steam. Its essential nature, H2O, doesn't change at all, only its form is different. This theory suggests consciousness works the exact same way. The physical body is like the liquid water, and at death, consciousness just transitions to another state, like steam, but its essence is still totally intact. Okay, this leads us to the most speculative, and honestly, maybe the most fascinating idea in the whole source: the claim that the quality of our consciousness at the moment we die is what determines what happens next. It's a really powerful concept. The source suggests that our lifelong state of mind, our attachments, our anger, our love, our compassion, all of that gives our consciousness a kind of energetic signature, a metaphorical color. And that quality then acts like a key, determining our destination after death. And then the source lays out this incredible cosmic map. A consciousness that's defined by purity and compassion, those are the bright colors, is drawn to a heavenly realm of bliss. A neutral or white consciousness, well, that leads you back to another human life.
But as your state of mind gets clouded by things like greed or anger, represented by darker colors, it leads to less desirable places, like the realm of the hungry ghosts, who are stuck in a state of constant craving. And finally, a mind consumed by hatred, a black consciousness, is drawn to a hell realm of suffering. It's a system where your inner world literally creates your next outer world.
So the ultimate takeaway here isn't just some wild speculation about the afterlife. It's a profound statement about the here and now. I mean, if our thoughts and actions are constantly shaping the color of our consciousness, then every single moment matters, doesn't it? It reframes this life not as just a one-and-done event, but as one crucial step on a much, much longer journey. The final question the source leaves us with is this: what color are we painting with our lives today?